Today we're going to be working on Leetcode question number 218, the skyline problem. A city's skyline is the outer contour of the silhouette formed by all the buildings in that city when viewed from a distance. Given the locations and heights of all the buildings, return the skyline formed by these buildings collectively. So every building is gonna have a left, a right, and the height. The left of I is the x-coordinate of the left edge of the ith building. Right of I is the x-coordinate of the right edge of the ith building. Height is the height of the ith building. You may assume all buildings are perfect rectangles grounded on an absolute flat surface at height 0. The skyline should be represented as a list of key points sorted by their x-coordinate in the form x1, y1, x2, y2. Each key point is the left endpoint of some horizontal segment in the skyline except the last point in the list, which always has a y-coordinate 0 and is used to mark the skyline's termination where the rightmost building ends. Basically what he is saying is, like, when we're going to be returning our skyline, basically x and y is x is going to be our height, right? That okay, this is the height and this is the x is the height, right? When we're returning it, no, x is the x coordinate, y is basically the height of that building. Yes. So in the end we're going to be returning 24,0, basically meaning that the last one, the height is going to be equal to 0 and the distance or the x coordinate is going to be pointing to the end of the skyline. So that's what he is talking about. Okay. Mark the skyline's termination where the rightmost building ends. Any ground between the leftmost and the rightmost building should be part of the skyline's contour. And there must be no consecutive horizontal lines okay, of equal height in the output skyline. For instance, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 5, 11, 5. Yeah, basically they all have the heights 5, 12, 7 should be merged together. So we should actually have mentioned 4, 5 where the height changed from 3 to 5, and then after that we shouldn't mention all these points until we are here 12, 7 where the height again changed. It's not acceptable. The three lines of height 5 should be merged into one in the final output. So basically in this example, if the buildings are 2, 9, 10, starting at 2, 9 is where it is ending and 10 is the height. So left starting point, right ending point, and the height. That's how the buildings are given, and the output is going to be 2, 10, which is this one, then the 3, 15, then 7, 12, then 12, 0. So that's how we're gonna doing it. So we're gonna be making use of like some of the libraries in Python, which is basically heap push and heap pop, so that we can get the largest element inside the heap. So for that we're gonna be doing the from heap q import heap push and heap pop. These are the two functions we need. What we're going to be doing is, like, basically we're going to be creating the events. Every building is going to be get converted into events. So our events are going to be equal to basically three things, right? One is the left, right, where the building starts. One is the negative of height, and one is the right, where the building ends. The negative of height is taken because this function heap pop returns you the minimum element, but we are not interested in getting the minimum element or minimum item. We are interested in getting the maximum height. So we're gonna be putting all the events using negative height, so that when we are using the heap pop on the height, we can get the building with the maximum height. Okay, and this is for L, R, and H inside the buildings. So if we go through, if we iterate through the buildings, this is for every single time we're going to be getting three things: left, right, and height. We are putting them as events, where every event is left, the middle one is the height, and the right one is the right of the building, where the building ends. Once we are done with that, we need to include the event where the building ends, or the contour, like the contour ends. For that one, we need to add an event where we're gonna say that it's a list of uh, the right 0 and then the 0. So what we are doing is, like, we are taking the last element, right? So for one second, for yes, for uh, we are not we don't want to worry about the left. For the last event, we don't want to worry about this, the last the starting of the building. We just wanted to know where the building is ending, and we don't worry about the height either, because this is the event where our height is gonna be 0 in buildings. So this is where we will be able to successfully add the last event, where we know that okay, the buildings ends here. Okay, and then we're gonna be sorted, and the way it's gonna be sorting it is on the based on the first element, which is the where it is starting. So it is gonna be sorting it from left to right. This should be events. Okay, the second thing we want to do is our result is gonna be equal to the x coordinate, which is the x, and the height, right? So the result we're gonna initialize uh, it as 0, the 0 0, and then every single time we're gonna have a live building which we're gonna be working on. So the live building we're gonna initialize as 0, which is again the negative of the height. So the height for every single time, it's what is the height of it, and what is the ending position. So we're going to initialize our ending position at the beginning to infinity. So that would be infinity. Again, uh, again, the the result is basically equal to, like, the x and the height, right? And the live is basically equal to the negative of height, and the ending position. Okay, so once we have initialized it, all we have to do is, like, we have to iterate through all the events for, and what we're going to be calling them while iterating is the event has a left point. Yes, so it is going to have a left point, okay, and it is gonna have the negative of the height, and it is gonna have and the right point where it is ending. So we're gonna ignore the right point because uh, we are actually documenting the left here, so that's gonna be our position. So the left is gonna be our position. We're gonna document negative h, and the r which is gonna be the right, like the where the event ends, but we are more because we are actually documenting, or we're gonna be keeping the record of where the building starts, so we're just gonna call it r, right? But mainly we are more concerned about the position where the left, which is the left of the building, and where the building starts. So for every single time in this, we're taking these three things from an event. We're doing basically, first of all, we are trying to get the highest building, right? So for that one, what we're gonna say is like while the live, we're gonna check is so the live again is the negative of the height and uh, like the end position of that. So we're gonna take the first, the live building, and we're gonna take the second, like the second element of that, which is the position, the end position, where it ends, right? If that is less than equal to the position, or while that is less than equal to the position, you're gonna getting the keep removing and get and making, wait one second, heap pop live. We're gonna keep removing the element and keep getting the shortest one with based on the height, which is the negative height, which is eventually gonna give us the tallest building. So we're gonna keep doing that until that condition is there. The second one is if we have the if the negative h exists, in that case we're gonna keep pushing the building into our like the live heap. So for that we're gonna say live, and what we're gonna be pushing it is a building which is the negative h and r. So we are actually pushing that one into the heap, and uh, because while we are gonna be getting it, every single time we are adding that element to the heap. Whether or not that's gonna be in the front or not depends on the height, because that is basically depending on when we are doing the heap pop. So based on the height, we're gonna be making sure that which one is gonna be the live building. And in the end, we're gonna say that uh, like basically we're gonna compare our result, like the results, the last result we added to the result list, and the live one. So for that, if the result of the last, like the last element, and the one, basically the result one is the height. If that is not equal to negative negative live of, because basically we are trying to get the height here, and we have to do the negative because we already saved the negative height of 0 0. If these two things are not equal, that means we need to put the new build, like the new point in the result. So when we're putting it here, we have to use position and the height. This is the new height of that one. And in the end, we're gonna be returning the result, but we're not gonna be taking the first element because that's gonna be 0 0. So we are returning result with 1 onwards. Event does not exist. Looking good so far. Yep, and it did pass all the test cases.